Good day, everyone. Today we're going to elaborate a little bit the future of Magento Association to share latest and greatest. My name is Sergej DERZAP. I'm treasurer, chair of marketing team, and let's say responsible for some other activities in Magento Association. Also, I'm CEO at Amasty.
For anyone who didn't hear me earlier today, I'm Ritesh SOMANI. I'm product management for value-added services at Adobe Commerce, but more importantly, I'm also the Adobe board member on Magento Association. And I was just doing the math earlier today. I think it's been more than 3 years, so that's a long time. And I didn't know anything about the community or Magento Association before I joined, and I'm very happy that I did, and now I know all of you and many more, so it's good.
Yeah, so basic idea of our presentation today, it's not to deep dive into details, but at first to share some kind of a vision, because like I'm not sure how you're familiar with what is happening in Magento Association this year. Probably you haven't followed it, or you're following us all the time, so probably you're aware that team is renovated, reassembled. We've got a lot of fresh blood, new members on board, and that's why we believe it's very important to realign and understand like that we're all on the same page, we have the same vision, and we're moving in the same direction.
So as Sergey mentioned, right, we have a new, pretty new board, fresh blood, good energy, and people from all around the world. But one of the things that we take a look at how this economy is and where everything is, and most people are looking at a world where things try to be standardized. We can know that some platforms look at it that way, and that works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time. And that, I think, is the beauty of the Magento community, and try to figure out how to create something a little less standardized, let's say. And I think it goes without saying that in order to be beneficial, and in order to be valuable, in order to create the right amount of energy for these businesses and for all of our businesses and for all of the merchants, we must basically try to create value by being different, not by doing the same thing. If we want to do the same thing, there's a playbook and we can copy that over and over again. But how do we approach things differently? And I think today's world, as we've all seen probably in the last 6 to 8 months, has changed a lot, not only for e-commerce, but for tech as whole. And I think it's a good chance for us to now look at that and be introspective to see, okay, what needs to stay the same, but what are the things that we can do differently? And this is what I was alluding to. Nowadays, I don't think anything is simple. And with the amount of choices that we have, with the amount of globalization that's there, complexity is just a part of the norm. And so how do we embrace that complexity, but it in a way that we continue to deliver the right level of value?
Yeah, so basically every business at the moment operates not with the, how to say, platform question. It's more about what business we would like to be. It's not about, let's say, let's pick up Magento, Adobe Commerce, Shopify, WooCommerce, as you like. It's more about what we would like to achieve. And I talk all the time with agencies, and they're saying at the moment, business is not looking for the platform. I had a presentation previously, like last year, in Meet Magento France, sharing my insight that customer at the moment is not looking for agency, is not looking for solution for the platform, for the theme, for the extension. They are looking for the solution for their business, how their business can achieve their goals. And some of them even don't care what is it inside. They care who is responsible for delivering this solution, what is the cost of this solution, and how effective it could be. So we believe that the main question is like what business you would like to become, but not what platform you're going to use for it. So there are a lot of, let's say, pre-built solutions like that provide your basic features. But the main thing here is not like what is available from the box. It's really what your business needs. Does your business fit already pre-built boxes, or you have a freedom and flexibility? In our days with AI, a lot of things are changing, like as Ritesh mentioned, like businesses that evolve and grow and make significant impact normally are different from these standardized solutions. They are doing something unusual. And here, how you're going to achieve it with using standard boxes. And that's why what we believe in is, let's say, it's not about what platform you should adopt. How adapt platform to your needs. And this is where Magento, and why this Magento exists. Probably it's not the most sophisticated one. Let's say, it requires a lot of knowledge to operate it. Like with helping AI, it becomes easier. But the case is that it brings you flexibility. It brings you more power, let's say, to create your business as you like it to be, but not as someone envisioned it. Yeah, so I think, thank you. So the case is like, we know that other platforms at the moment have huge budgets. Like you can, say, listen to the podcast and hear some promotional speeches from, let's say, one platform. You can see how another platform invades into US market and, let's say, heavily invests in the marketing there. However, we don't, let's say, see so much about Magento, right? But the case is that it's not about marketing budgets that makes Magento special. It's more about people who make Magento special. So let's remember how Magento started. It was about community. It's about people who brought these ideas and made it so loud that it was skyrocketing, fast-growing platform. And now these people are still here. Probably they're not so loud, but they are still contributing. Like we have a lot of nice examples of contribution in the Magento world. I've recently checked with marketing team. There are at least 3 different leaderboards, all let's say, created by enthusiasts who are contributing to Magento as a platform. We have Major.s as the innovation piece of this puzzle, who constantly innovating and maintaining their innovations from version to version. So it's time for experimenting. Like it's time for AI to embrace new life into Magento, and who are responsible for it? We are people of the community. It's like it's brought by community to a community.
And what you were saying about the marketing budgets, I think the one way this community can overcome the marketing budgets is by everyone in this room and beyond. We each bring a different skill set. We bring different regionality, locality. I mean, I've been so honored to be here now in France and see how merchants are operating differently, how the agencies are operating differently than my main experiences in the United States, right? So I think by amplifying that message through our own distribution channels, which are everyone here, which is the community Sergej talked about, we don't have to spend all the big marketing dollars, but we have different ways to get to them, and probably in a way that makes more sense for the customers that we're serving.
Yeah, the very important thing here that AI changed the game. It's super easy to develop something using AI when you have open source code. It can understand it, it can read it, it can improve it if you like to. But let's imagine like other platforms that are built as SaaS, like they're not so flexible at the moment. So we're, let's say, repositioning the rules of the game, and the game will change soon because we do not care what platform you're running on. It's about efficiency. In terms of total cost of ownership, game is going to change a lot with help of AI. We see that we are delivering more and more from month to month. I see it like a CEO of a product company. We're able to provide more value to our customers with every next month, with every next iteration, enhancing it with AI features. So probably it's a new era of Magento starting here today, and it's only up to us to decide what it will be. So your commerce, your rules, and Magento Association is, let's say, baseline. It's the home of Magento. We, the new team and renovated team of Magento Association, would like to focus on the initiative that bring value to the community, making sure we're able to support your initiatives, like we're supporting the moment Expo events. We had super nice web winkle where Magento was represented along with Huva, a lot of with other agencies, and the same hood. We are planning the same for London Expo. We have plans for the next web winkle already. We are creating roundtable activities like in UK. One should start in France this summer, hopefully. And we would like to scale it to other countries, other locations. So there are a lot of discussions, but the case is that focus for these discussions are what community needs. Case studies, making sure there is awareness, like brand awareness, not about specific person or agency. It's about, let's say, reference to your clients where they can go and see. It's for you to share your insights, innovate, collaborate. And there are a lot of activities that are working on that already getting started, but we need your support. It's not possible to make it with a group of people of like 10 or 12 or 15 even at the moment. Like, I don't believe there are too many other people innovating, but there are a lot of developers that are helping with different fixes, maintaining Magento, pushing new code to Main.js, and more people are collaborating, more people are trying to, let's say, push it forward, easier it will get. It's like, let's say, this flying wheel system. You need a lot of power to make it running, but then, like, to maintain it, you need less and less. At the moment, like, we have Ben Mars recently joined as the employee, half-time, but employee of Magento Association. We've got back Katie Wilson, who was responsible for sales in Adobe. Now she is responsible for Magento Association. We've hired recently several people also part-time for marketing activities. And it's just the beginning. We can do way, way more. But let's say, not alone. We need your contribution in support. With the time, with money, with ideas, with feedback. All kind of contribution, let's say, are valued.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that as the Adobe representative. I want to just reinforce for everyone in this room, in case there's any question, that Adobe is supportive of the efforts of Magento Association. Ever since I've been involved, we continue to provide monetary support to Magento Association. You can see participation in a reasonable amount of Meet Magento events. And one of the things that we heard loudly from the community earlier was, hey, if we're going to contribute, how does Adobe make sure that they take in some of those contributions? That was one of the first things that was on my plate when I first joined. And with the last batch, we worked to actually create a system where we were able to get some of those community contributions. We had created a whole voting system so people could democratically vote for the things that made sense. And we have since incorporated a lot of those things in. I think there was a time when that volume was very low, but now we've got dedicated teams who are bringing that into the releases of Magento and Adobe Commerce for that matter. And again, for the people in the room that are wondering whether, does it make sense for Adobe to support Magento anymore? I mean, I don't have to remind everyone that Adobe Commerce is built on the Magento code base, right? So until someday, there's no Adobe Commerce, there should continue to be support for Magento in that way. Now, that being said, from a strategy perspective, and that's what we were talking about, there will be different ways to be flexible, and there'll be different ways to approach it. And an Adobe Commerce merchant may not be the same as a Magento merchant, but I think we're all in that same community, and there's a foundation where we all have to support. And folks like myself, and even for anyone who have been to some of the local Adobe events and community events, we have our payments offering, which is the first solution that Adobe has that's available not only for Adobe Commerce, but also for the Magento community. And I could say without fail that right now, the number of customers we have on our payments offering, we have more community members, more Magento customers than we do on Adobe Commerce. So it is something that we believe in and will support to the best of the ability from Adobe's perspective. So we are definitely committed to Magento Association, and I'm still here 3+ years later. I think I might be the oldest sitting member on the board, which we need to change that.
It's very, from a treasurer perspective, let me remind you that for every dollar or euro donated to Magento Association, Adobe doubles it. So it's basically, let's say, pretty evident mark of that Adobe cares about Magento Association. One more thing, I would like you to, let's say, get out of this room from this conference with some kind of super small but achievable action item that everybody can do right here today. If you would like to support Magento Association, you are not ready to support it with the money, share, let's say, help us with awareness. We are running for the last year Magento Association podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify and YouTube. If you would like to support somehow Magento Association, just listen to several episodes, like them, reshare them. It already will, let's say, bring some momentum, will, let's say, give these search engines of podcasts more awareness about Magento. Super easy, achievable. You can make it, let's say, in 5 minutes to subscribe and like, and half an hour to listen something of it. If you like it, listen one more. If not, okay,
Still
you can
listen to one more.
You can share feedback, and we'll try and make it better next time. Thank you. Probably you have questions.
Thanks a lot. We have time for questions. So does anyone have one? So it seems no questions. So thanks a lot.
Well, one comment I would make, since there's no questions, is you all are here, and you're here at this event and supporting, and that's awesome, and here in this room as well. But if your friends are not, I urge you to go out of this room and go ask them why they're not, and get them motivated and involved as well. Because again, the larger the group, the more effective, the more impactful we're going to be.
Thank you.